speaking of numbers, the collision ratings are in 363,000 and a 0.10 in the key demo. The key demo has been plummeting lately. This might be a little bit up. It might have been like a 0.09, but either way, like I don't really get into the nitty gritty with the ratings. I get bored by all that. I think it's redundant and stupid, but it's the game everyone wants to play. So I cover the numbers, right? 363K. Okay, that's how much you're going to watch almost every time unless a WWE's on or whatever. And yeah, the key demo's hurting. So what do you make of all that? You have anything to add to that? I mean,
300. I'm surprised it's, and I'm not even being sarcastic here. I know that's my tone of voice and I can't help it, but I'm surprised it's even that. It's a Saturday night for a highly uninteresting show. And that was with them competing against the pay-per-view, right? Or was that the week prior? I'm mixing up the dates.
I think this is the week.
This is the week
prior. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Dude. Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, either way, I mean, who's sitting around? It's like it's a Saturday night, and they're going, man, I gotta stay in. I gotta stay in. Lee Moriarty is facing off against Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. Like, it's just like, the texts are coming in, the phone calls. Hey, you want to go do something? No, I got to watch 270-pound guys pretend like they're 6'3" Japanese dudes. Like I said earlier, like I got to do that. Now, I'm shocked that it even gets 300,000 people at this point, honestly, truly.
Well, speaking of 300,000 people and having to do that, AEW has 300,000 people contracted to their roster, and when you're there, you have to compete in a tournament because Tony Khan has booked the official, I believe, if my math's correct on this, guys, this is the 38th tournament. I think it's the 38th in company history, which mathematically works out that Tony books one tournament every 2 months since the company's inception. That's literally a stat. And not only did we just have a tournament winner, Takeshita, who's a champion, but essentially they had a tournament to face Kenny Omega, right? Where a champion won a tournament to defend his belt against Kenny Omega at Revolution. But then immediately Tony Khan goes, I know, another tournament to face Kenny Omega at Dynasty.
This is awesome. It's like you said, every 2 months there's a new neurodivergent Kumite. It's great. It's just like, did you add up the points and then divide it by pi? And then it's all, and wait, and all of this is to face against Kenny Omega?
Again, they just had a tournament to face Kenny where the Takeshita won, and he's the champion. So he won a tournament to defend his belt against Kenny Omega. That's literally what happened. And then now they're having another tournament to determine the number one contender for this belt Kenny Omega just won. Like a tournament didn't resolve that. Like you couldn't go, okay, well, Takeshita was number one, right? So who was the guy he beat to get to Kenny? Because that would be number two. No, like it's already figured out, bro. We just had a tournament. So it's like, I have no idea what the is going on. People are like, this isn't lazy booking. This is the laziest.
It's
2 months.
idiotic.
Every 2 months he books a tournament. It's crazy. When I saw that number, I couldn't believe it. That's a real stat, folks. So Orange Cassidy is taking on Hechicero.
Oh,
who's got that one?
Which guy is Hechicero? Which guy is that? What is he? I mean, his name also, I don't know. Hechicero.
Hechicero is the created dude from WWE 2K. No, he's this guy right here. Hechicero. Right? The world famous.
Wait, can you please click to him back for a second for the people?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, here's Hechicero, dude, right here, man. What do you make of him?
Look at the Hechicero real quick. All right, guys, just soak that in. Look that in real quick. Just give him a look. See, maybe look in the bottom picture on the far left where he's wearing the big belly cover with his crossover suspenders. No, guys, this is real. This is a really cool, important, good guy. So get ready for Hechicero. He's gonna fight. Him and Churro are gonna have a great match. Wait, no, who's he going against? Orange Cassidy?
Orange Cassidy in the tournament opener. I want your picks, Joey. You gotta let me know, man.
Well, I mean, I will never, for the rest of my natural life, bet a nickel against Orange Cassidy in this company. I would bet that at this point, Orange Cassidy would, I don't know, he could be immortal. Like that's my safest bet. How could you not pick him? How many matches has he lost in 6 years? Like 6? Speaking,
Yeah.
he's lost more matches. You know what? I'm gonna just put this out there because you just mentioned this stat. I'll do an inverse of it. Has Orange Cassidy lost as many matches as Tony Khan has booked tournaments?
Damn, that would be an interesting. Someone's got to get
Probably
back to
not.
it.
Probably not, dude.
Unlike you, Joey, I'm not a numbers guy, B, as Brendan Schaub would say.
Well, you see, no, what I do, that dude, you gotta this is a game that I've played for many, many years. I present ideas because I don't know. And then I ask people, I go, can you look at that really quickly? Because I'm doing a show and they're not. So it's a helpful little thing to do because I'm like, I can't look at it right now because I'm entertaining you folks. But I can almost bet that in the next couple of minutes, somebody's going to send a thing. It's like, yeah, no, Tony Khan's booked more tournaments than Orange Cassidy's lost. That's my guess.
Exactly. So someone in chat, you know the drill. Figure that out. Up next, we have Wild Card versus the Beast Mortis. So a wild card tonight. We don't know who it is.
Is he a luchador too? I don't know. Wild Card? Is that a... No,
yeah. Yeah, dude, it's Vacant's tag partner that we haven't known. But yeah, dude, wild card. So we don't know who that is. People are saying it's going to be Mike Bailey, which it's like, why don't you just announce if it's Mike Bailey? But we have Katsuyori Shibata versus Ricochet, who I think is going to win this tournament.
Ricochet?
Yeah, I think he's going to win the whole goddamn thing. I think it makes sense for AEW and like what they're doing.
Oh boy. Good God. I mean, Ricochet, if we're at the point where Ricochet is one of the main characters on our TV show, really kick that around in your head. But yeah, no, you're probably right. And then look what we got here for the last match. We got Mark versus Mark. That sounds about right for an AEW show, huh?
Hey, yo. The best guy, Tony Khan.
It hurt my feelings.
That's like the N-word, Joey. You're not allowed to say that. I'm telling Brian.
Well, I mean, that's my next album. I'm covering Kanye. It's Marks in Paris. That's my...
Marks in Paris. So Mark Briscoe versus Mark Davis. So
there we go.
Has
any human being been more underutilized? I mean, when this is such a vague statement when you take into account AEW, right? But how few people have they missed the boat on than Mark Briscoe and the story they had and what they could have told? I mean, if someone will say, well, they did it in ROH and that's like cool and I sing in the shower sometimes. It doesn't fucking mean anything. But wow, did they screw the pooch on that. But now don't worry, he's in a dynasty tournament for the opportunity to smell Kenny Omega's hair against Mark Davis. Like what the...
So listen, they're gonna have another match, Edge versus Mox for the world title. And
Why?
It's announced that the winner will face Swerve at Dynasty
How does that
for the
make
world
sense?
title. So once again, instead of two guys fighting each other for the shot at the world title, they're going, no, you're fighting. The champions are fighting to figure out who gets to defend their title against Swerve.
You fucked up! You fucked up! You fucked up! You Mark!
Like, how do they get away with this? How does anybody defend this garbage?
Oh, well, dude, don't worry. I heard that they're going to do a Super Bowl rematch. It's going to be the Eagles and the Chiefs, and they're going to have the opportunity to play the Bears. Whoever wins that gets the opportunity to play the Arizona Cardinals. Like, what?
Oh my God, dude. This is crazy. This is insane, man. So last pay-per-view, they had a tournament to decide who was going to face Kenny Omega, and the winner of it was a champion who got the right to defend his title against Kenny. Now they're having two guys do a number one contender match for their own belt against Swerve at the pay-per-view.
I love that John Moxley is so unhinged and he can't be controlled. He's an unstoppable man in green pants. You can't stop the green pants. But you know what? But you know what though? He'll have another match with Adam Copeland, who he's already technically beat. Yeah. So he has the opportunity to beat a guy that was a champion a year and a half ago.
he'll commit murders, but he'll show up for the sanctioned match you booked him for against this guy. Like, none of this makes sense. They'll kidnap people. Do you remember for like a couple weeks they like kidnapped FTR, and then FTR's just on TV like, well, damn, golly gee, that was real hard on me and my family after I was kidnapped. You know,
Dex is like, oh gee golly whiz, I guess that they waterboarded me down. They brought me down into a basement, and I went to Guantanamo Bay, and I just tell you, shucks, gee whiz, I'll tell you.
And they're just
really
back at work. It's like, what happened? Like, aren't they kidnapping people? Like, are the Rock and Roll Express alive? Why is there no explanation to any of the things that are happening?
I like the idea of them just randomly revealing in 2 months that Ricky Morton is still living in a basement somewhere, like he's just been trapped.
Yeah. Help! He's just yelling, help!
and Pac shows up occasionally, mostly naked, to throw a couple cans of tuna down there.
Oh my god!
Guess what I brought for you, Richard?
Yeah. Oh my god! Dude.
Chicken of the sea.
Chicken of the sea. Yeah.
Good taste.
Oh yeah, here's the world title, right? So you saw this video. Here's the last.
I didn't.
Well, here's the last anyone's seen of the AEW world title.
Yes. Oh no. Oh no. you know what? The universe provides, Phil, because there's no better way to describe AEW than an Asian lady nobody knows popping out of a trash can with the belt.
With the belt going,
yes.
Poppy, I found it!
Going, Momo!
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
Giving the little peace sign. Wah!
Yeah, dude. Holy, how funny is that? We haven't seen it on their TV in how long? If you watch their show, that belt's nowhere to be found. Mox is like, yeah, it's in a briefcase. I lost it somewhere. Isn't that cool? And then this lady pops up out of a trash can. We found it.
I will say I do like the idea of now, if they'd have done this from the beginning, if Moxley, when he beat people, took something and put it in the briefcase, like a time capsule, you know? Yeah. Like if he beat Swerve and was like, I'm taking that robe.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking a robe, or I'm taking your grill, or I'm cutting a piece of Copeland's hair off, or whatever. And he's collecting something from each person. Are you pitching that as an actual good idea for him?
think that's, well, I mean, I hate to give them ideas.
No, that's actually that would actually make him, that would actually be kind of crazy and cool. That'd be like, all right, what is he doing? Yeah, dude. See, you just thought of that. You just thought of that. That's what I mean. It's crazy to me how Tony's like, I block out all the bad ideas. Well, other than Moxley's or Monet's, because she has creative control. I guess, Edge is allowed to do what he wants to.
What if after he beat Edge, he put like an Alter Bridge CD in the thing, in the briefcase? And Edge was like, that's my favorite album. We're like, we knew that without looking at you. Like a picture of Guy Fieri. And he's like, close enough.
That's my friend. I met Guy Fieri. So
even Guy Fieri doesn't like him. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, dude. So Beast Mortis as hologram makes his way to the ring here, I believe, on Dynamite. The Beast Mortis takes on Wild Card. You gotta assume that's Mike Bailey, right?
Oh boy.
Post Wrestling says that Swerve Strickland reveals he's under contract to AEW until 2029, so he's getting that Tony money until 2029. Swerve famously was on the football field talking to that dude like, hey man, we're signed to Tony Khan and he lets me do whatever I want. So what do you think? Okay, wait. Well, hold on though. First off, what do you make of Hologram being teamed up with Harley Cameron and Excalibur going, Harley Graham, she's Harley Graham here on AEW, and Powerhouse Hobbs is their tag partner. So that's something happening on Dynamite right now. What do you make of that? And then let's talk about Swerve.
Well, we realized that Harley Cameron was getting over. She was doing a good job. So what we had to do was promptly that up.
Yeah, it's promptly. I'm telling you, This is my thing with Tony Khan, and I've pointed it out. Unlike anyone, I swear to God, I've pointed out more instances of this. No one harps on this enough. And I'm telling you, anyone, well, maybe people have pointed it out, but I rag on this to death because it must be known. Like, he has to realize this is what people are picking up on. If you get over on your own, he buries you. If you have the ability, the Acclaim, they got over with their own from Dark and Dark Elevation. He buries them. Like, he pulls the trigger on them too late, and then now they're just nothing. Athena starts getting over on AEW Dark by, like, shooting on chicks. Like, it was a work, but she's, like, throwing bitches over the top rope and glomming them. And then she starts getting over. They send her to ROH. Who else? Just name anybody, right? Harley Cameron. Oh, yeah, we'll give her a match. Mercedes will beat her, and then she'll be with Hologram. What the? Wearing a mask. Yeah, this beautiful
they
hot
put
chick.
a mask on
Put
her.
a mask on her. Hey, I have another idea. Let's cover her tits too with a turtleneck. Like, what the fuck is he thinking? I don't understand.
I have just the idea. Put her in a burqa.
Yeah, dude, put her in a burqa. Like, what
put her
the
in a
fuck?
burqa and never let her. I think that's the move.
I have no idea. And then let's stick Powerhouse Hobbs with them. Like, anybody who starts to get over, they just go, nah, that. But if it's Tony's idea, like, oh, Orange Cassidy, he'll just shove it down your throat. Or if you make it feel like it's his idea. So Moxley knows how to make Tony feel like, yeah, Tony, we'll invade it. This is your idea, bro. Rocky 3, right? You saw that. He's like, I love that one. You know?
Well, you know what?
One.
I can't wait for Rocky 3 in like the next 6 months to where in the States they're going to be like, they were very unfair to Ivan. That's coming. That's going to be the next thing. You know what? Apollo Creed, he wasn't very nice to Ivan. I mean, that's just all I'm saying. Like, he did.
You know what they say, bro. If he dies, he dies. Am I right?
He said if he dies, he dies. He never said he wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
he say he wanted to kill him?
Never said he meant to do guilty, innocent till proven guilty. Am I right?
Typical Hollywood putting words.
Yeah,
in the mouth.
Woke. Everything's woke, bro.
you know that woke 1986 media. You know. by the way, Tony Khan, I don't know if you've ever heard of this term. Do you know what oppositional defiant disorder is?
Explain it.
Okay, so I got to
explain it to me. Well, yeah, I've heard it. I know, but why don't you tell me if you know?
Well, the funny thing is, if I was like, Tony, do you have oppositional defiancy disorder? He'd be like, I don't know what that is, but no. All right, ready for this? Is just a brief overview of it. Okay, a disorder in children. There you go. Marked by defiant and disobedient behavior to authority figures. The cause of oppositional defiant disorder is unknown, but likely involves a combination of genetic and environmental factors. All right, so ready for the symptoms for this?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can align this really quickly with what we got for AEW. All right.
Okay, so, hold on. Soda water. Okay.
Well, there's aggression is the first one, but we know that's not true. So he gets a check for that one.
Hey, fear. Hold on. I was very aggressive in telling
everyone
else. I was very aggressive in letting my lawyers know just how scared I was. Okay.
Weren't you intimidated by my fear?
I was very aggressive in letting them know. Listen, I was so fucking scared.
I aggressively told them I was scared. All right, so ready for this? Common symptoms.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right, frequent temper tantrums. Check.
That doesn't happen. Hey, now hold on a second. I have more money than Vern Gagne. Okay, go ahead with number 3.
You're bald assholes. You're a bunch of bald assholes.
You're a bald assholes, and I hate Ted Turner. Never met him, though. Go ahead.
Easy frustration, yet resentfulness. Wow. What do you think of that?
No, I'm not. Hey, hold on. I'm not mad at anybody. I mean, they're bald assholes, but them. But I mean, I'm not mad. I swear. I'm very happy. It's great.
Oh, here's a good one. Defiance of rules and requests.
Oh, come on now. I listened when Moxley asked me to shove sticks in his head, and I listened to Tony Storm when she wanted to recreate the scene from Carrie with glass.
Oh, but Tony, I mean, the next couple of ones definitely don't fit the bill. Ready for this? Blaming others for their own mistakes.
Oh, come on now. You're an asshole. That's your fault that you asked me that question. Hold on. Now it's not my
Oh.
fault. You just asked me. It's not my fault. You're psychoanalyzing me.
No, that's
you
not
asshole.
true. Also, deliberately annoying others. You don't do that, Tony, right? That's
Oh,
never.
come on, it's great. Archie, give me a hug. Can I have a hug? Hold on. Before we can, I need to give you a hug. No handshake. Are you sure? No hug? Oh, okay, that's fine.
And there's 3 more, and they all kind of fit the bill, but the third one definitely is perfect. So I'll just leave it at this.
Yeah.
Difficulty accepting responsibility. What do you think of that one there?
You know, we've had a great string of shows, and it's been really great, and I think it's been great, and you know, the fans really love. Time Cop comes on tomorrow at 3 p.m. On TNT. See you guys.
By the way, I watched Time Cop back like a week and a half ago because I hadn't seen it since like 1993. For whatever reason, I think it was because during the pandemic, myself and the wife were watching back all the old Jean-Claude Van Damme movies because it was just brainless, right? So it was kind of fun. But I hadn't seen Time Cop since I was probably 8, maybe 10. And I'm watching it and I'm going, oh my God, this is this guy's whole frame of reference.
Well, because, you know, if you do something in the future, but you thought of it in the past, but then you execute, like, for instance, I told everyone on the media call day that 5 years ago, I decided I was going to book things good, and I promised myself, but I didn't execute the promise till 4 years later, because that's what Jean-Claude Van Damme would do. Time Cop.
Do you think he would go back in time and tell himself to book Orange Cassidy even stronger? Is that what he would do?
Well, you know, we're currently working on, and my dad's inventing a time machine. He invented the bumper for the vehicle, and we're currently working on something with Elon right now. We're going to go back in time and actually put the world title on Orange Cassidy first.
Do you know what? If Elon Musk was like, I'm going to stop doing all these really unpopular cuts, what I'm going to do instead is invent a time machine for me and Tony Khan to go back and do smart. That would somehow be a little less embarrassing. I feel like I'd be like, well, all right. Like you just took 2 ASD out of their mind Nepo babies. And they were like, what would happen if we joined forces, but only for the world of professional wrestling?
Do you know? Go ahead.
No, but I'm just thinking of all the possibilities. Like, does he go back in time and like tell Eddie Guerrero to be like, no, Eddie? No.
I was just gonna say, do you know what? He would use it to go back in time, and I'm sure, like, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like, jump underneath Owen Hart, or like tell mass transit not to don't do it. He's gonna cut you. You know, like so,
instead of doing. It
would be like things. Deadpool, like where he goes back and shoots Hitler. He'd stop all the travesties in wrestling. You know, we're working on it right now.
He gets 3 wishes, and he goes back in time and watches some obscure Japanese wrestling.
Yeah, he would save Hayabusa from. You know, he would like wipe the oil off the bottom rope or whatever.
Don't do that, Flip. Do this one.
Yeah, that's what he'd do. He'd go back in time to when Seidel slipped on the top rope. He's like, that's the one point where AEW fell apart. We've pinpointed it, Marty. You know, he's got Doc Brown. We've pinpointed it, Tony. The precise minutes, you know, the AEW fell apart, and it's when Seidel slipped on the top rope.
That's definitely what ruined it.
Yeah.
I will say, and I like putting this message out into the ether, as uncomfortable of one as it is, and I feel like spreading it to your audience as well. Do you think it's a little bit? Do you think it's a little bit, you know, prophetic potentially for Ospreay to go around dressed like Hayabusa? Do you think that's probably not the move for a guy that does the stupid that he does?
I'm going to sit there and think to myself in hindsight that that's harsh. However, I'm going to sit here now and think to myself, you might be right, bruv. You know,
do you really want to put that gear on and do
Yeah.
this that you do
It's like having an Owen Hart tournament and having Darby fall off the thing, and it's like, well, he did, or like they string him up from the roof, and you go, well, okay, he didn't hurt himself in this, thank God. But if he did, though, was that the thing to do? I see what you're saying there, and I didn't even think about Bruv wearing the Hayabusa with the style that he does, and like doing the flip off the. Not saying like don't do a Spanish fly off the cage, but you know.
I am.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. All you do is fall down, get back up, bruv. You know, sometimes when you fall down, if you don't get back up, bruv. You know what I mean?
I'm a weird kind of guy. Like, I think if you basically fall off a balcony, that should be the finish. I know.
Yeah, no,
I know. I'm just a senior citizen over here. Sign out the AARP cards, but I'm a real old school kind of guy where when you do a backflip off a 20-something foot cage, that should probably be the finish instead of a little elbow. But
yeah,
like I said, I'm a geezer, I guess. I don't know.
But that's crazy you bring up the Hayabusa. Ospreay thinks I didn't even think about that, bro. That's so true. And he's already had neck issues, and right? It's like, how far do you take that, bro? You know?
Yeah. Well, this is like at this point, it's like if you're somebody that does really dangerous where you could land on your head all the time and you wore like a Big E shirt all the time to the ring. It's like, you know, maybe you're
you're right.
You're kind of throwing a middle finger up to the universe at that point, aren't you? Just a tad.
Yeah.